Senlin did not believe in that sort of love, sudden and selfish and insatiable. Love, as the poets so often painted it, was just bald lust wearing a pompous wig. He believed true love was more like an education. It was deep and subtle and never complete. I'd rather be a nothing at the center of everything than a puffed up somebody at the edge of it all. Hello lovely book dragons, and welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Joana and I love to read fantasy. Today we are here to talk about one of my new all-time favorite books, Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. So I've been meaning to read this book for a little bit now. I've owned it for a while. What initially sparked my interest in this book was Alan over at the Library of Alexandria, who has been raving about the Senlin books for a very long time. We even have a gift for it. I mean, Alan, he is all about them Senlin books. And I bought it and I wanted to read it, but I heard it was so weird, so different from anything else, that I was a little bit intimidated. And ultimately what made me pick it up right now was Ryan over at Seeking Stories, who created the Alan Challenge. And the Alan Challenge is to kind of celebrate the fact that Alan lost a lot of challenges on his channel, and we wanted to do a challenge in his honor and read some of his favorite books. So there's gonna be like 5 videos of the Alan Challenge coming out, and this is the first one. And in this one I read Senlin Ascends. In the other videos I'll be reading other books for the Alan Challenge, but I will leave the announcement video linked in the description of this video. Originally I had thought I was going to film one vlog with the 5 books, and then I started with this book, and this book became an all-time favorite and I needed to do a review, so I thought I was going to combine my review with the vlog. So in this video you're gonna have my sit-down thoughts as I'm sitting right here talking to you about why I loved Senlin, about why it became a new favorite, but there's also the clips of me reading it, which have some spoilers in them, because I talk about different parts and I go into some quotes that really resonated with me. I didn't include them in the intro, even though those quotes were also some that I really loved. The 2 ones that really hit me hard are in the vlog section of this video, and I explain why. So if you're interested in that, I am going to try to leave timestamps. If I don't know how to do it, I will leave right here somewhere the moment in which I stop the review and the vlog starts. So if you don't want to see the vlog, you don't have to, but if you do, you can go there. But yeah, I want to talk about Senlin Ascends because this book, it became a new all-time favorite. So what is Senlin Ascends about? This premise is so straightforward, guys. Basically, this man, Senlin, who is a headmaster at his school, he has saved his whole life to visit the Tower of Babel. He gets married to his wife Maria, who is like a pianist, and they get married and they're like, hey, let's go and visit the Tower of Babel and do our honeymoon there. It's all fine and dandy. They arrive. So when they arrive at the Tower of Babel, Maria sees a store with some saucy underwear and she wants to buy some, and she tells Senlin, hey, just wait for me out here. I am going to go in and buy some of this, but should we lose each other, meet me at the top of the tower. And Senlin's like, okay, I'll just wait here for you. But in fact, they do get separated, and we follow Senlin as he starts ascending the Tower of Babel and looking for his wife. That's the premise of this book. You may think, wow, that sounds really boring. It isn't, guys. So in this first book, we see him go through the different layers, and the way this Tower of Babel is built, as you can see on this map, is that there are different floors, which are called ringdoms because it's a tower, and each ringdom is very different from one another. You have ringdoms that are like completely set on illusions, and I mean, these are very different and kind of whimsical. And so we follow Senlin as he meets different people that help him on his journey ascending this tower, finding his wife Maria. So that, guys, is the premise of this book. It may not sound like much, but trust me, it is so good. I will leave Ola, who over at The Reading Witch, who's one of my good friends, video review of this linked down below, because she didn't love it as much as I did. And it's funny because her thing is like read it or skip it, so it helps you decide on whether or not you should read it. And I was watching her review after I finished this, and all the points that she says, if you don't like this, then you should skip this book. And all the things that she mentioned are things that I don't like in books, and yet this became a favorite. It's very hard for me to talk about this book because I feel very emotional about it. I don't know why, but I do. I will say that for me, the strong point of this book is the characters, but also the writing style. So the way I always format my reviews is I talk to you a little bit about what it's about, and then I go into atmosphere, writing, plot and pacing, characters and world building to help you decide whether or not you should read. But I think that today I just want to talk about why I loved it so much, and not whether you should read it or not, because this book I know is not for everyone. I know people who haven't liked it. I know people who've loved it, and this book is just kind of weird and quirky. I mean, if you don't like whimsical things, which I usually don't like, but if you don't like things that can almost be nonsensical, then you may not like this. If you, I don't know, if you like the typical plot structure in a book, you may not like this, but I loved it. Like, everything that this book is meant for me not to love it, and yet I love it. The world, there's not really a world outside of the tower. I mean, there is, of course, but we don't really delve into that at all. We really learn more about the tower, and it's still a huge, huge mystery, because people say that, like, there's a quote in here that says the tower has different levels depending on who you talk to. So, like, we don't even know how tall this tower is. We know nothing about, except for the few ringdoms that you do get to see here in the beginning on the map that I showed you. We know about those ringdoms, and that's it. And there's so much mystery still around this tower and everything. So the world building, it's not like a world building. It's really much more whimsical, and you discover as you go, and you really quickly learn that all the books that have been written about the Tower of Babel, they're not really very informative. Like, people think they know stuff about the tower, but they really, really don't. And that is what is so wonderful, is to discover, what is this tower? What is going on? What is happening? Why have these scholars written these books, but it doesn't match what we see when we're in the tower? Oh, I love it so much. The atmosphere is therefore also incredible, and each ringdom is so freaking unique. Like, you know when you are in this ringdom or in this one or in this one. They're so different. They're so unique. I don't know. The atmosphere was so phenomenal. I just couldn't stop reading. It was beautiful. Honestly, it was beautiful. I keep on thinking about this book and I want to cry, because I don't know why, but I just love this book so, so, so much. And the plot and the pacing, I think, are maybe where a lot of people will find difficulties with it, except for the whole whimsy magical thing that almost is nonsensical. But the plot and the pacing might be what some people find difficult, because honestly, you really just follow Senlin on these different levels, trying to figure out, has anyone seen my wife? How am I going to go about finding her if no one has seen her? Where is she? What's going on? Where will she meet me? What do I have to do? So maybe the plot and the pacing are what people are not going to like. I love the plot. I love the pacing of this book. I read it in like 2 days or something like that, because I couldn't put it down, but I could see that people wouldn't like it so much, which is why I'm gonna leave Ola's review down below, because she has some issues with it, and I want you to check that out from someone who isn't as incredibly insane about this book as I am. I will also leave Alan's review down below, because he tackles completely different aspects of this. For me, what worked so well was the writing. I always tell you in every single one of my reviews and my videos that I like straightforward writing. I like John Gwynne, I like Brandon Sanderson because of that. No, I mean, yes, I love that, but Josiah Bancroft's writing style worked. It worked. It is so, so, so beautiful. It almost has a classic feeling to it, but in a very, very approachable way. I think Alan really talks very well about the writing style, so I will leave his review link down below, or up here, I don't know where, but it will be somewhere linked. I think that the writing style is so beautiful, and I think you can tell from the quotes that I read you and from the vlog section that is going to come, that the writing is just so, so beautiful, that it fits the story so well. It fits the whimsy, the mystery, the everything about it. The writing is phenomenal. I loved it. From prose, I will say I think Josiah Bancroft and Abercrombie are my favorite authors if I only look at the prose, because oh wow. To me, the strong point, guys, like I said, another one of the strong points is Senlin's character and the themes of the story. Okay, you see it a little bit more in the vlog section where I talk about this, but the themes and the fact that, for me, one of the main things that I latched onto as a theme is the fact that this tower is such a corrupt place and it corrupts everyone, and Senlin tries to not get corrupted. He sees these things, and there are moments where he really wonders, oh my god, what have I become? Like, if my students saw me now, they wouldn't recognize me as Headmaster Senlin. Like, what is this place doing to me? And how he doesn't let it. He tries to not let it. There are moments, of course, when he might sleep up or not, but the whole point is him trying to stay straight in his boots, even though he's in this place that corrupts everyone, that tries to corrupt him. The fact that he needs to try and stay true to himself, I love that. I love that so much. He is a little bit of a naive guy, and I know a lot of people don't like his character. Honestly, on Discord we always talk about, some people love Senlin's character, some people really don't like him. And I will also leave Elliot Brooks's review link, because she talks about how when she started reading this, she was like, he's kind of like a little bit like, almost like a dum dum. I don't know if that's what she says, but it kind of is. And then you realize, I'm Senlin. Like, if I were in this situation, I'd probably be like that. And yeah, guys, I know that this book isn't for everyone. I know it, but I loved it. I love the discussion of humanity and goodness and trying to be true to yourself and staying true to your principles. And I just absolutely love this book. I am definitely going to be continuing on with this series. For the Allen Challenge, this was my first book. This is phenomenal. I don't think that the other books in the Allen Challenge can beat this one out. But I'm super happy I read this. Honestly, still quite underrated. I feel like a lot of people have talked about it, as in they have heard about it or they maybe even purchased it. But I haven't seen too many people actually read it. So if you own it and you're in the mood for something completely different writing style, completely different plot and structure of a story, then I definitely recommend this. So guys, this is a little bit incoherent still, because I love this book so much and sometimes I cannot express exactly what I feel, but I love this book. I absolutely recommend it. I give it, of course, a 5 out of 5 stars. Love this so much. Usually I try to go more in depth about themes and everything, but here it's hard because of how much it means to me. But now I'm gonna be queuing in the vlog section of this video. If you don't want to see the vlog section, then I will say goodbye to you now, and hopefully you read the book. And yeah, hopefully you pick this up, and let me know in the comments down below if you have or if you are planning to. And if you are watching the vlog, then here you go. So first update for this vlog, I'm in a completely different angle as usual because Marvin is taking a nap and I didn't want to film or update in my reading room because I didn't want to make too much noise. So we're up here. Update on Senlin Ascends, which is the first book I'm reading for this Allen Challenge. Guys, I read part 1, so up to here. This is what I read. I'm loving this book so much. I'm listening to the audiobook along as I'm reading, and I am just loving this. This is incredible. I love the writing. Like, usually I'm a very straightforward writing kind of person, but in this it works. I think it's so beautiful. I think, but not even beautiful, but just like also a bit quirky. It keeps on reminding me, like, the atmosphere, the writing style, the feelings I get while I read this remind me a lot of how I felt while I was reading House in the Cerulean Sea, which is a middle grade-ish, adultish book, which is one of my all-time favorites. So the writing style, like when I'm reading this, I'm feeling like I was feeling with that book, except that this is completely different plot and completely different story, which I'm also really enjoying. There were a few quotes in here that I really loved, but I didn't tab them, which was kind of silly of me. So a quote that I really liked, I hadn't tabbed it, but I found it. It was after the whole part at the parlor, and when he finds out that he gets to move on to the baths, but Edith, was that her name? She can't, yeah, Edith, she can't move on. she's gonna get branded. And then I like this part. Something changed in people when they stood in the tower's shadow. It sapped their humanity. It heightened their ambition. He couldn't imagine why anyone would return to the parlor after being expelled. Why return for further torment? He didn't understand it. Was life really so grim in the market? Was everyone so terribly dissatisfied with themselves that they could think of nothing better to do with their lives than to spend it in pretend? And that quote, I don't know, like, I think this really relates to also work, you know, that how many of us are so happy when we get to be on vacation? How many of us, like, I was so excited that this is a 3-day weekend, and I have a pretty good job. I have a good boss, I have a good team, everything is great, like, in that sense, but like, this quote really resonated with me, and it's kind of how I feel sometimes about a lot of things in life. And so a lot of this is resonating with me. I'm really loving it. So my next goal is to reach the end of part 2, of course, and I will probably update you then, unless something else happens before that I really want to comment on. But the end of part 2 is another 110 pages, so exactly the same amount as what I read. Maybe I'll update you before, maybe not, but so far this is amazing. I am already going to go on Amazon and buy The Arm of the Sphinx and The Hot King, because I know I'm gonna love these books and I'm gonna continue with the series. And wow, Alan, this was a good recommendation. I may be kicking myself at the end of this and saying that was just the first 100 pages that were great, but I highly doubt it. Hey guys, so this is, like, I haven't updated you as much as I thought I was going to update you for this vlog, but I cannot stop reading Senlin. So I guess that's a good thing. I probably will just come back here and talk about my whole thoughts of the book when I'm done, which is very soon. So part 2, in the baths, I loved the whole thing with the painting, and we finally get a little bit of like what happened to Maria, I think the other book says Maria, and we even got like a little bit of her perspective. It was so cool. I loved it so much. I love seeing Senlin trying to figure things out, and the whole thing with Teru, and the scenes in the bath were wow. And now I am, I think, 90 pages away from finishing the book. So yeah, we already had him working for Gaul, which is what he's doing now, and finding Adam again, and fighting Voletta and wanting to help Voletta get out of there. So I am now, I just had that scene where the Red Hand comes and wants to kill him because he's looking for the painting. And so it looks like Ogier is dead. And guys, I just want to update because I didn't want to come and say like, I'm 100 pages in and then I finished the book, which is pretty much what happens. But I'm loving this so much. I am probably going to try and squeeze in Arm of the Sphinx rather soonish. My April CVR is insane, but I need to read Arm of the Sphinx. Alan, if this is the first book that I'm reading, and if I love all of them this much, I can't love all of the books this much, but Senlin is amazing. I was thinking about Senlin Ascends, and I was thinking, it makes me think of something, and it makes me think of Les Fiancés de l'Hiver by Christelle Dabos. This has been translated into English from French as A Winter's Promise, and this is a YA series, but if you like Senlin and you want to look for a YA equivalent, here it is. These books, like, the way it is written, the nonsensical things that happen at times, the whimsy is what I found in these books. And funnily enough, book 3, which I haven't read yet, well, I started it and then I didn't finish it because I just needed to start over with the whole entire series and reread the first 2 books to continue. But the 3rd book is called La Mémoire de Babel, so it is also the Tower of Babel. And guys, if you like Senlin and these books are on your radar, read them. You will enjoy them. Unless it's badly translated, which I have heard a lot of people who have read Winter's Promise, a lot of people haven't connected to it, but every people on the French side has enjoyed it. So I don't know if it's a translation thing or a culture thing because it's written differently. But if you like Senlin, I have a very good feeling that you're gonna like Winter's Promise if you're looking for a YA equivalent. So yeah. That was my thought, and now I'm gonna go finish Senlin. Okay, hey guys, so I don't remember if I came on here after I actually finished Senlin, so I did want to say that I managed to finish Senlin, and guys, this book was incredible. It's a new favorite. I gave it 5 stars, absolutely, no questions asked, 5 stars. Like, when I think about it, I kind of want to tear up. That's how much I loved it. I love the thoughts that are mentioned in here. I love the discussion about staying true to yourself. That is something that I'm trying to do in 2021. My word of the year is anchor, to like really anchor myself in the things I believe in and in who I am, and to try staying true to that person no matter what situation I'm in, because life has made it that sometimes I become a little bit of a chameleon and I try to please people and I try to adapt to certain situations, which is good. Adapting is good, but that sometimes for example, say yes when I know it's going to trigger my anxiety. There are situations where I don't have to say yes, and yet I do because I don't want to disappoint someone behind, and yet it goes against something that I deeply believe in, or it will make me anxious. And this book really touched that aspect of my life, that aspect of my personality. The fact that so many people tell Senlin, you cannot trust anyone. There are no friends in the tower. And he's stubborn enough to say, I am going to still believe that mankind can be good, that there can be friends, that there can be people that I trust. And that is something that I need to learn, for example, because sometimes I tend to have, I know that there are good people, but sometimes when things are dark, I tend to be someone who's like, yeah, maybe humans are just a bunch of trash cans, and you know, but there's always hope, there's always good people out there, there's always whatever. This is going too deep into my psyche and whatever. I just want to say that I love this, and I did want to talk to you about that passage that I mentioned yesterday that I really loved. I got it. It's on page 140, and then it goes on page 142. So this is when he's talking to Taru, and Taru says, "Heaven protect me from the spring cleaning of a man's conscience. Don't see that me, headmaster. I'm glad your self-righteousness has given you some exercise, but you forget, we are not such a tidy, reasonable, and humane race. Our thoughts don't stand in grammatical rows, our hearts don't draw equations, our consciousness don't have the benefit of historians whispering the answers to us. Oh, stuff your outrage. You overlook the beautiful and exaggerate the evil." And then Senlin responds on the next page. "I am upset because we have pulled our human genius into the building of an elaborate tower and have filled it up with the same tyrants that have plagued our race since we crawled from the sea. Why does our innovation never extend to our conscience?" And I love that. I love those thoughts where on the one side, I love what Taru said, that humans are messy. Humans are never gonna be just good, just bad. It's messy. It's messy being a human. And I loved what he said about that they had a chance to start fresh, and yet humans, we have the same problems that we have everywhere. So as long as humans kind of come together, there will always be those things. And I love when he says, why does our innovation never extend to our conscience? And those thoughts, I loved this book so much. It is a 5-star. The first book for the Allen Challenge was an absolute success. I honestly cannot imagine another book beating this one out. I thought that my favorite was going to be Traitor's Blade or The Long Price Quartet, just because of what I've heard. Probably Traitor's Blade, and then Long Price Quartet, and then Senlin, and then Guards Guards. That's what I thought, but I cannot see any of the other 4 beating out Senlin. It's, honestly, I think it's going to be impossible. This is going to be on my top 10 of the year, for sure. Unless I put Armor of the Sphinx, or The Hot King, or The Fall of Babel. Like, the Babel books are going to be on my top series of all time, if the books continue to be good, which everyone on Alan's Discord says that book 2 is even better, so. And also, Kate and I got together and we're going to be doing a live show with actually Alan and Ryan and Klaus and Ola. We're going to be doing a live show for this, so I'm super excited about that. Guys, more Senlin, more Senlin, more Senlin. So there you go, guys. That wraps up my review and my vlog of Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. Like I said, amazing, 5 stars. I loved it so much. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read it, if you are planning on reading it, or if neither of those things and you just want to let me know that you were here. Leave a train emoji in the description of this video, because Senlin and Maria go to the Tower of Babel on a train. So leave that in the comments down below if you just want to let me know that you're here. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you are having a lovely day and that you will check out all of the people's reviews that I mentioned and that you will give this book a chance, and I wish you happy reading. Bye guys, see you very soon.